take any time off. You got to establish yourself here.
That's you.
I know. Welcome back. That is what we're seeing right now, down about 17 points as far as fair value. You really haven't done much since the fair value board, right? I mean, that was a good start.
That was a good start.
About 2 months ago, but you got to come up with come up with something. What else needs improvement here? The booking. Bring in a few.
We're going to bring some big guests
sources.
in. We've done a little bit of that. We're working on it. Absolutely.
Some type of delay? Is it moving slowly, or? Let me get to Harwood. The Squawk Exploratory Committee is in season. A flat tax proposal by Texas Governor Rick Perry is grabbing the headlines this morning. And CNBC's chief Washington correspondent John Harwood had the opportunity to talk to the GOP hopeful about the new plan, which is everywhere this morning. It's a lead story on some of these well-read blogs, or at least a lot of people go to these blogs, right? What did you find out, John?
He's going big, Joe. He's got a flat tax that is 20%, flat corporate tax of 20%, eliminates estate capital gains dividend taxes, preserves the mortgage interest deduction, charitable deduction for state and local taxes. And if you don't come out better under this new system, which a lot of people, especially at the top, will, you can choose to file under the old system. It all adds up to a huge revenue loss for the government in the short term. Now, Rick Perry says that it's going to generate a lot of economic growth, and he's also going to try to rein in spending. He's got an 18% limitation consistent with cut, cap, and balance in the House on federal spending to GDP. He would cut $100 billion immediately in the first year. He would raise the Social Security retirement age and also limit benefits for high earners by changing the benefit formula calculation, would change Medicare and Medicaid, rein in those, although he didn't spell out those details. And he's girding for the attacks that are going to come from Democrats, also from some Republicans, on the issue of distribution. Aren't you helping the wealthy too much at the expense of the middle class? Here's Rick Perry defending himself on that charge.
Your plan, by cutting the top rate to 20%, eliminating dividends, capital gains, interest income taxes, would provide a huge tax cut for wealthy people in this country. Given what's happened with income inequality, why is that a good idea?
We're trying to get this country working again, and that's what I focus on. As a matter of fact, as we looked and as we talked and as we went through what are the ways to really give incentives to those that are going to risk their capital to create the jobs. I mean, this country's got 14+ million people out of work, and I want to get that money back out into the economy where people have confidence that they can have a return on their investment, and they'll hire individuals, and that's what this is really all about. Those that want to get into the class warfare and talk about, oh my goodness, there are going to be some folks here who make more money out of this or have access to more money, I'll let them do that. I'm worried about that man or woman sitting around the coffee table tonight or in their kitchen talking about how are we going to get to work, how are we going to have the dignity to take care of our family. This plan does that. And it also is a tax cut across the board. It doesn't make any difference what strata you're in. It gives a tax cut across the board.
But for those at the top, it is hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars for them.
But I don't care about that. What I care about is them having the dollars to invest in their companies, to go out and maybe start a business because they've got the confidence again that they actually get to keep more of what they work for. This idea that we've got to have a tax system in this country where you take more away from those that have the ability to create jobs. I'm all about job creation. That's what I've done for 10 years as the governor of Texas, and that's what I'm focused on. So I'll take the criticism. If that's what comes, I'll take that criticism because what I'm interested in is getting Americans working.
You mentioned class warfare. In 1996, when your advisor, Steve Forbes, was running on a flat tax, Mitt Romney said it was a tax cut for fat cats. If he says that about your plan, what are you going to say to him?
Well, I would say that he ought to go look in the mirror, I guess. I consider him to be a fat cat.
And he also, on Mitt Romney, he says his plan is just nibbling around the edges, where Rick Perry says his own plan is bold, on a couple of other issues. He explained why he kept that birther issue alive. He said it's fun to poke President Obama. It's a good issue to keep alive. It wasn't clear entirely to what degree he was trying to be serious and joking at the same time, maybe play both sides of the fence. And on the issue of Occupy Wall Street, he said he would tell those people, you need to realize this is a great country.
Yeah.
Guys?
Yeah. President, you know, kids around with you remember at the Correspondents' Dinner, he kids around with that birther issue, too. So it's, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's getting much. Not many people picked up that story, even, John. I saw it in the Post. But, you know, 2020, I mean, I'm not a smart man, but 999 seems better than 2020 in terms of, you know, isn't it less? Isn't 9 less than 20?
9's less than 20, but remember, he's adding a new sales tax as well.
The 9 sales tax, right. That's even
correct.
more. That seems even, but he's got ways of making it less regressive, but that even seems more regressive. But both are too regressive probably for mainstream, the notion of actually instituting these things, right?
This is the issue with Perry. He does not believe, and he said so directly in the interview, he does not believe in a progressive tax system, so he rejects the regressiveness argument on its face. But what he says is that this is going to generate a surge of economic growth. We know that liberals, Democrats, mainstream Democratic economists reject that, say that it's fanciful, but Rick Perry standing up and making that argument, and he hopes by doing so, he's going to win over the hearts of some economic conservatives who have not embraced Mitt Romney, because Romney's plan is a much more gradualist plan. He's preserving the rates in the current system at 35%. He does cut capital gains taxes, but only for people making under $200,000. Rick Perry does have an income break, by the way, in his tax plan. You preserve all of those deductions for mortgage interest, for charity, for state and local taxes, only up to $500,000 of income. He lets them go away, Joe, for those over $500,000.
John, what happens to the Perry campaign if he doesn't start to pick up some momentum and traction now that this is out?
He loses.
Got a lot of money,
It's pretty simple. But look, here's the thing. We've had a bunch of debates recently, and those are terrific. They're great for viewers. We're going to have one on CNBC on November the 9th. But the rubber's going to hit the road very quickly in the state of Iowa, in the state of New Hampshire, when people start spending millions of dollars in television ads. We know that Mitt Romney can debate. What we don't know is whether he can take a heavy hit in a TV ad campaign. So when somebody comes after him with the flip-flopping charge, with the charge that he doesn't have a spine or he doesn't have a core set of principles, how well does he hold up under that barrage? Obviously, he's going to come back hard at Rick Perry, at Herman Cain, at whoever comes at him. But that's when we're going to know whether Mitt Romney is going to be a durable Republican candidate.
I just thought of something. If you can keep the old system, you're not even getting rid, that's part of saving the money, is getting rid of that old antiquated system that's so complicated. So these people can pick one or the other. Seems like you'd have to have the old system would still be there. That's it. But we got to go. Can we talk about that at 8? All right.